Hello, welcome to Crypto News. Today, April the 17th of 2026, and the top crypto news is as follows. We will start today with South Korea, which is also entering the crypto space very dynamically. Specifically, South Korea's Ministry of Finance is preparing to test blockchain-based payments for certain government expenses. Additionally, it will test token deposits for executing government operational expenses, with full implementation targeting the fourth quarter of 2026. However, we don't know which blockchain they will use. Nevertheless, we know one blockchain that is entering the country very dynamically, and that is Ripple's blockchain. We know that Ripple has partnered with Kyobo Life Insurance, one of Korea's largest life insurance companies, to settle government bonds using the Ripple custody platform. These are the only details we know, as they haven't given us specifics. However, as I said, Ripple is very dynamic in the country. Moving on now, we'll go to artificial intelligence agents, which will very soon be part of our daily lives. We learned that Mastercard partnered with Crossmint, and these two companies told us that consumers will soon be free to securely authorize artificial intelligence agents to make purchases using customers' existing payment cards. This technology will use Open Cloud and Lobster Cash, which is an AI payment layer created by Crossmint. Crossmint has received funding to operate as a company from Solana, Circle, Visa, and Mastercard. So, as you've already understood, as Mastercard uses this technology to make payments with artificial intelligence agents, this could very easily come to Solana through the same company that Solana has already funded. Continuing, we'll go to breaches in the crypto market and start with Drift, which is abandoning USDC. Drift Protocol announced it is aligning with Tether as the stablecoin issuer supports the protocol's effort to recover $285 million. In an announcement, Drift tells us it will receive $127.5 million from Tether and $20 million from other partners within a framework that includes a credit facility linked to revenues. In this context, Drift plans to channel the committed capital into a so-called recovery pool. Beyond the exchange's revenues, users who were victims of this hack will receive a transitional token representing a stake in the recovery pool. Drift said it will completely abandon Circle's USDC and will now use Tether. For this exact reason, Circle also received a lawsuit. Circle faces a class action lawsuit led by a Drift investor who claims that Circle failed to freeze the funds that were stolen on April 1st, and for this reason seeks compensation. So these are the latest from Drift and Circle. To complete our breach coverage, we'll go to the Polkadot bridge that we told you about in the previous episode on Crypto News, which was hacked. Initial estimates said that $237,000 had been stolen from the protocol, with other sources saying over $400,000. However, it was revealed that ultimately $2,500,000 had been stolen from the protocol, 10 times above the initial estimate mentioned in this particular article. To finish today's episode, we'll go to miners in the crypto market who are selling more Bitcoin in the first quarter of 2026 than in all of 2025. Specifically, publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies sold more BTC in the first quarter of 2026 than in all 4 quarters of 2025. They have sold a total of over 2,000 BTC just in the first quarter of 2026. As you can see from our chart, this is much more than all of 1925, as we can see. So this doesn't help the price either. However, we might be at our bottom, and you'll see why in a moment. First, let me tell you that Bitcoin stands at $74,000, with the price still struggling to break our resistance. As I said, we might be at our lows because Bitcoin's funding rate has reached its most negative levels. Specifically, funding levels have reached their most negative levels since 2023, a signal that historically coincides with market lows as BTC continues to rise to $75,000. Historically, deeply negative funding rates often coincide with local lows in Bitcoin's price. This dynamic usually reflects accumulated short term short positions, which can create conditions for a squeeze higher as bearish bets disconnect. This was observed in 2020 with COVID-19, in 2021 when China banned Bitcoin miners, in 2022 with FTX, and in 2023 with Silicon Valley Bank. We'll close today's episode with this chart that essentially shows we're at the lowest points in funding rates. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, April the 17th of 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.